Welcome to the Path to Reason. I'm your host, Cindy Plaza, and tonight we're going to talk about gender and octopuses. So I might have some audio issues, so if you cannot hear me, just say so in the chat, please. Um, so we're going to tackle two issues today. The first one, I'm going to explain more in detail what is gender, and then um, answer or respond to this question that I've seen a few times in the last few days on Twitter. Uh, why can I be an octopus in response to trans people? So, gender is a social construct. A social construct is a concept, an idea that is shared by a group of people inside a society. So, for example, family is a social construct because we have different ideas about what is considered a family in different parts of the world. For example, in Asia, uh, grandparents are much more part of the family core than it's the case in the West. Um, some people believe that a family is necessarily a man, a woman, and their children. Um, other people believe that it's just two people who have children. Other people believe it's just a group of people that you love, no matter what uh, biological link there may be. So this depends on the people, and throughout history and throughout um, all around the globe, there are different definitions and different views of what family is. So that's why family is a social construct. Uh, and so there are plenty of examples of what social constructs can be. Um, money is one. Marriage is another one. Um, and of course, gender. Sorry. So, how can I prove that gender is not linked to biology as a lot of people claim? Uh, Actually, it's very simple. So I brought those two things that I'm going to show you. So here is the first octopus, and here's a second one. So can you tell me just by looking at them which one is considered male and which one is considered female? So obviously one, so maybe the light doesn't show it very well. My ring light just died today, so I'm sorry, we have to do without it today. So this one is blue and this one is pink. So blue is associated with girls, so are those hats here. Uh, Pink is a color assigned or associated to girls, just like just those little bow ties in the hair or flowers in the hair or anything like that. Uh, and so if we look at them biologically, they are exactly the same. So what part of their biology defines whether they should be green or blue or purple or pink. The answer is nothing. These ideas that we have that men have to be strong, they can't express their emotions, they wear some specific types of clothes, they are in blue, they work um, in constructions, in mechanics, and they're better at sports, while women are physically weaker, they are more emotional, they they are supposed to stay at home, take care of kids. These ideas have nothing to do with biology. There's nothing in biology that says that um, nurse is a job designed or reserved for women, just like there is nothing in biology that says that CEOs have to be men. All of this is concepts, ideas, and prejudices in some places that are built over time by society through social pressures, through religion, also, of course, and culture and all those things. Uh, also, and that's the probably the easiest argument, but in different societies there are different number of genders. In the natives in America, there are five genders. There are societies in Asia where there are three or four. Um, so it's only binary because our society made us think that it was binary, partly, and I would say mainly by religion, but not just. It's also cultural um, evolution. So gender is has nothing to do with biology because again there is absolutely nothing in biology that says that men are supposed to be dressed in blue or that young boys have to play with cars and young girls have to play with dolls. Nothing like this is linked to biology. So why are there people who I I don't know what word to use here, uh, feel like they're not of the same gender as the sex of their body. It's because, and for that I recommend you to watch Dr. Sapolsky's videos. One of them talks about gender, and he explains it much better than I will today. So basically, we agree that biology is not binary. Uh, Everything that's alive is um, is in a spectrum. We know that humans, for example, they can be between adult humans. They can be between 1 meter 20 or 30 to 2 meters 30 or 40. They can be in a certain range of weight, hair color, uh, body size. All this is inside a range, and we accept that as a society. But we don't accept that the same thing can happen in our brain. Because, hi, Big Zebra, nice to meet you. Nice to see you here. Um, I lost what I was saying. Um, yes, the way our brain is made has nothing binary. We know that biological processes and chemical reactions, they don't always happen exactly as they are supposed to be. And so um, we, so yes, I'm talking about life being on a spectrum. Everything in life is on a spectrum. Our emotions uh, can be weak, they can be strong. Um, Everything is on a spectrum. Um, so when we observe humans' brains in under functional MRAs, we see that there are some very specific areas um, that are a little bit smaller for women than in men. That doesn't mean that women are less smart than men, because those regions don't have to anything to do with intelligence. They have to do with um, emotion management, fear, and these kind of things. And we observe, and that's not it's an undeniable fact that when we observe trans people, we realize that those specific regions in their brain, they are on average the same size as their identified gender. So, for example, my brain would be on average, again, those regions would be smaller than they are in a guy, and that explains why we have some people identifying as uh, women but being biological men, or vice versa. And that's very important to understand, because uh, those small differences, they are the product of how the brain uh, um, is being constructed inside the womb. And all those processes, all those information, all those chemical reactions, all those hormones, and all those um, chemicals that the mother can be exposed to, all this will impact how the brain is going to be formed, and the body as well. So this would explain why there are trans people. And it's important to realize that sex also is not binary. uh, we have a wide range of differences. Like we have people with only one sexual chromosome, like only X. We have men with XY chromosome, women with XX chromosome, um, or vice versa, women with XY chromosomes and men with XX chromosome. We have people with three chromosomes, XXY, or no, only XXY. There are people with four chromosomes, um, sexual chromosomes. So there is variation in here as well. So even though it's true that the majority is uh, one set of biological attributes for men and one set of biological attributes for women, there is a lot of variation in here. In fact, Dr. Sapolsky says, he quotes a number. He says that there are more intersex people, those people who are not inside these two big monoliths. There are more intersex people than there are people with an IQ above 140, which is quite interesting, because as humans, we tend to measure ourselves with the greatest achievements of humanity. Like when we compare ourselves with animals, we say, yeah, we can understand mathematics, we sent people on the moon, and all those things. But the truth is, those achievements were um, made possible only by a very, very small fraction of the population. And so if we can attribute the best things and what is extremely rare to the entire population, why can't we agree that heterosexual people exist and we can treat them like any other people? Because no one treats people with IQ over 140 um, of being weird or different or anything. They're just different, but the difference is not visible. So that's probably one of the reasons. Um, I don't know what standard deviation is, Big Zebra. Um, I know that the average is around 110 or 105, something like that. Um, but yeah, there are more intersex people than there are people with an IQ over 140. So yeah, that's what I wanted to explain about gender. It's that as opposed to what many people think, and I understand that it's extremely hard to get out of such a basic concept of what we are taught because uh, oh yes, okay, I understand. It's a way of registering how many people are above or below a certain point of the bell curve. I don't remember, but I think you might be correct by saying it's two standard deviations above the mean. So I lost again what I was saying. Um, yeah, we need to understand. Yes, I remember what I was saying. So our society, especially in the West, Europe, and the US, uh, is not just the US, but the entire American continent. I would say we grew up in this culture that tells us as we are very, very, very young that you are either a boy or a girl. And because of that, the majority, then nobody cares about the other people. So we need to do a better job at this. We need to acknowledge that nothing is binary in biology, nothing. Um, Everything is on a spectrum. I have two cats, and they are uh, extremely different in the way they think, in the way they behave, and yet they are incredibly similar in physically in colors and not size, but yeah, color and shape. They're almost the same. Um, no, it's okay. You can continue asking questions. It's actually it's nice to have someone to interact with. Um, it's just my brain is not working properly at the moment. Uh, so yeah, variations in biology are omnipresent, and I choose this word on purpose. Um, so the second topic today is why can I be an octopus? So this question is asked by people who don't want to agree that gender is a thing and that um, we cannot, as trans people, be trusted uh, on what we feel, and that's extremely problematic on several levels. First of all, nobody ever claims to be of a different species. Uh, no one says, I think I'm a rat or I think I'm a turtle. No, that's not what happens. Gender is variation inside our species. So making this argument up that like we're saying that we are from a different species, that's just not only it's dishonest, but it's also insulting because no one is saying such a thing. The other underlying assumption here is that yeah, zebra, is that it's just a feeling, so it's not as valid as anything else. And this argument is very hard to counter and to debunk because it is a feeling, but there are different types of feelings in humans. Uh, Pain is one feeling, temperature is a different feeling, um, but our sense of identity is it never changes. It's not like I'm feeling cold or I'm feeling depressed or anything like that. It's who I am, and I, I I truly understand why it's hard for people to understand because when I started to announce my transition around me, the question I had the most is I don't understand. I'm a man and I don't feel particularly a man, or I'm a woman and I don't particularly feel like a woman. So how come you can be a man and not feel like a woman? And I truly get that. But the thing is, it's hard to explain and therefore hard to understand, but it's our sense of identity. It's like the way I explained it in the first times is like after 16 weeks of pregnancy, the brain starts to take some shape and the information is starting to be uh, coded, for lack of a better word, in the brain. And you can see it as someone drawing who you are going to be. So your character, your physical characteristics, um, what potential you will have um, in terms of growing, in terms of intelligence, in terms of all those things. Um, it 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 draws also who or towards what kind of people you will be attracted to. Um, all this is drawn during those weeks after 16 weeks. But the person who does the drawing is not it's not a robot. It's like someone who can fail, and sometimes they will draw a part of the drawing in the wrong way, and so this part will not agree with the other parts. And that's how I explain it. It's I know it's dangerous because people will tend to think that it's an abnormality, but that's why I said earlier that we need to explain more about why biology is a spectrum. Is because everything that is a variation from the norm is not natural. It's just normal variation inside the range. Does the term emergent property apply? That's a very interesting question. I'm not sure. I would say it's the information that's coded into our brain because our mind has several layers. In the very lower layers, we have is um, this information about how to breathe, how to move, how to make our heart beat, and our lowest instincts like fight or flight, and it's like layers on top of the others, and our sense of identity is at the very lowest, probably not the lowest point, but it's extremely low in this onion, I would say, to reference Shrek. Uh, but yeah, I don't think it's an emergent property, because an emergent property is when you assemble different things and then you have something you didn't have before. Here, you can say that the mind is an emergent property of the brain, but inside the mind, the different informations uh, that can be imprinted, if we could say that, um, that's not emergent properties, just different informations, I think. I want to have Dr. Sapolsky on my channel, but with only 200 subs, I don't think he will even consider it. But I'm going to send him an invite anyway in the next days. Um, so yes, this question, why can't I be an octopus, is it's dishonest, it's demeaning, it's made to shut us down. It's meant to um, prevent any discussion on the matter, because uh, well, you're crazy because you think you're like an octopus, and so therefore I don't need to listen to you because everything you will say is rubbish. And that's I have no words to describe this, because it's low, it's petty. That's probably the best word to describe this. Um, so yeah, if you have any questions about gender and and those types of questions that you can hear, um, I think this octopus questions, or sometimes it's also frogs. Why can I be a frog? Um, on top of being made to prevent discussion and to prevent engagement, I think they're also a way to prevent people from showing that they ignore anything and everything about this topic. Uh, because is the gender social construct relatively new? You mean as a scientific discovery? Yes, it's relatively new. I think it's from the 70s that the first gender studies appeared. Uh, but if you mean we've had this social construct in our mind recently, I would say no. We probably had this since we've been humans acting in a society, I would say, but maybe I'm wrong. That's a question for Dr. Savolsky, I guess. Um, so yes, he quotes 7 studies made on that very topic about the difference in the brain between genders and the consequences of these findings, and they're pretty solid. Of course, we need to do more studies to increase our understanding of everything that's happening up there. But the information we have is naturally leads to this conclusion that gender is a social construct, and our gender identity is at least partially determined by how our brain is constructed in the womb. So yeah, I kind of like them, to be honest. Um, I bought them especially for the show because I wanted to present these visual blue and pink things. I tried to give them to my cats, but they don't seem to be interested much. Um, but yeah, if I had somewhere to put them behind me, uh, I would definitely put them there. Uh, so Yeah, tomorrow I will be on the PSF network on the Women Atheist Unload channel, and we are going to talk about pets and how they can improve our mental health. So that's going to be a very interesting topic. I think it's going to go well over an hour um, because there's a lot to say, and I have quite a few anecdotes on this topic. So I hope I will see you all tomorrow. It's 10:30 p.m. my time, so it's 4:30 Central Time. If you can join us, that would be great. In the meantime, if you want to help my channel, you can buy me books or octopuses or anything for my cats. In the description, you have my Linktree account where you can find my Amazon wishlist. There's only books, I think, inside. Um, and so you can buy anything you would like me to read, whether it's to talk about it or just to because you think I'm uninformed on a specific topic. Um, if you like this show, please like, subscribe. You know the drill. Um, I hope you found this discussion interesting and informative because that's the most important part. Uh, I want this to be informative. By the way, I joined a group this week. Hi, Gustav. Good to see you. I joined a group this week. It's some kind of professional groups that goes to high schools and universities and talk about our jobs, but also different things. And I joined this group to talk about my job as an IT consultant and also to talk about critical thinking. So hopefully, starting September, I might give conferences in this area. Um, this contact I had before to do those same things in the University of Liège. It's still pending. I'm waiting for someone to contact me, but I think it's going to happen as well. So that's very interesting to me, and so I will keep you updated and see you next time. And thank you all.